Well, it's winter, it's cocking cold, great fun. Just got it all pinned out, making it out of Weathermax mist. Not massively exciting, but first job of the new year, and we've got a few to get through before we can get on to more fun stuff. I've got on so many clothes, obviously full length sexy thermal leggings, as well as various t-shirts, jumpers, thermal tops, and my TikToks, which is Irish for thick socks. And yeah, it's still cold, so I hope you all appreciate the suffering I go through to make stuff for you all. You know, I'm not saying that I'm like Jesus, suffering for others. I'm just saying, he is in a warm country, so I feel like he had it easier. Now, I do actually have someone else that works for me. I've named her the business development manager. She does all the stuff that I don't want to do. Now, because it's so cold, I haven't asked her to come into the loft because she's only 25, so I'm pretty sure I'll have like Child Protective Services sending me letters and phone calls or something, which I can't really be bothered with. Didn't mean to sound negative about cover making, you know, I'm pretty good at it. But it's not something you can easily get excited about, you know. I'm actually quite grateful for people who place cover orders, because my first proper order at Casca was a batch of covers. It's 4 fever covers and 6 lasers covers, so 10 covers in one go is quite nice. I did, however, wildly misprice it, and I worked out at the end of the job that I had made £3 per hour for work, so wasn't the best start. So that is the first product out the door of the year. Yeah, it's looking nice and snug. I like it. Yeah, I'm actually quite happy with that. That's nice. I like it a lot. Right, new day, new hat, new lens we're trying out on the camera, and today we're making a padded paddleboard bag, which I've been struggling to say. This is my 17th take now, for a friend. We're using Weathermax. It's the best. That's all there is to know about it, really. Yeah, crack on. Right, so here we are. These are pieces that we cut out weeks ago before Christmas. Because the industry has a big shutdown, I couldn't order anything until the 5th to finish it off. So hopefully in a few minutes a courier is going to come through that door with some zips and I can make this into the finished version. Weathermax on the outside layer, that's for weather protection, it's as good as it gets. Padding on the inside, there'll be another wafer thin layer of material inside of that. And you notice all these little cutouts here, there, if you can see them. And that's to essentially mould this bag around these fins, because it's going to be left outside. The person doesn't have to unscrew the fins every time, but also doesn't want them exposed to the weather. So we're gonna have a nice, hopefully, scooped, moulded cover. We'll see. I do just need to spend a few minutes doing some accounts and putting stuff on Facebook and Instagram. Yay. Whilst I'm making up some Europe toe straps, I can fast see this becoming my moaning hour, where I moan about people who use terms like lived experience, just an utterly moronic phrase. You don't say I ear listened to a podcast, or about YouTubers who constantly ask you to subscribe. There's only one reason to ever subscribe to a YouTube channel. That's like frantically tap the mouse to rage unsubscribe when they've said something that pisses you off. You just subscribe to unsubscribe. It's the only good reason. But I probably shouldn't do that. I'll just carry on making some toe straps. Okay, so we've had shave, so I look a little less homeless. Everything's made for today. Padded paddleboard, bag. You can see it's scoops around the fin so you can unzip. It'll do the job. It's my first go at a padded paddleboard bag, and I think I will not be making one ever again. It's not for me. We've also got toe straps. We're planning to make padded toe straps, and they're our eco toe straps. So we use wetsuits. So we cut them into sections, make these strips that are the right width, and then layer them up as necessary, and we're left with just offcuts, tiny offcut pieces of wetsuit material. So if a wetsuit weighs a few kilos and we can make a few sets of toe straps out of it, and all that's left is that's several kilos per wetsuit. It's a whole lump of neoprene that isn't going into landfill. So at the moment we only do eco toe straps. We won't buy reels of foam like everyone else does, because there's places like Pierhead Water Sports, Cumulus near us, and Land and Wave. Land and Wave have given us sacks and sacks of wetsuits to use, and this is a Land and Wave wetsuit. When they get to their end of life and they've got holes in, there's still plenty of material we can use here. And they've been fantastic, and so we've been making our eco toe straps so far, mostly from Land and Wave wetsuits, so massive thank you to them. They've been fantastic. Cumulus have also given us I think several sacks of wetsuits. We've barely even scraped the surface yet, but the more and more we make, the more we'll get through it, and just the better it is. These guys, they don't want to throw these wetsuits away. They don't want them going to landfill. These are companies that rely on the outdoors. They want the outdoors and the environment to be great. So they're so keen for people like me or anyone else who's willing to take these things from them and make better use. So for the moment, padded toe straps is the obvious thing that any sail loft or any sail maker could do. It adds negligible amounts of time once you get used to where to cut. And the other thing we've got in the background, to finally put this print up. Happy about this. This is Patrick Head and Frank Williams. They started the Williams race team, or the second and proper iteration of it. And the building there is an old carpet factory. They didn't even have the lease. They leased it from, let's say, September. They were ready to go in, I think, July. So they just kicked the bloody doors in and got going. And when I started this business, there was another person I was hoping to start it with. I desperately wanted to start the business with this one particular person. And I love the idea that there would have been a picture just like that one outside the front of this sail loft of me and that other person. Maybe one day I'll be able to lure them in, but they just weren't quite ready when I started it. So, hey, it is what it is. This is where I do my shameless plug. Just to let you know, on the Cask Sales website, we do have currently in stock in blue and yellow eco toe straps for the laser, or Ilka, as I'm supposed to say now. In stock, ready to go. Only a handful of them, but they're there if you want them. I don't really know how to finish a YouTube video yet, so I'm just going to walk off screen.